Hi guys, today I want to make an interesting video about musicality. So I was thinking recently that I'm making videos mostly concentrated on steps, yes, but some other aspects I don't tell in my video, so I decided to make separate video where I just talk to say what I'm thinking about it. So very often people think that musicality is like a talent, not a skill, and like why it's important that uh, people are not trying to improve it because they think, okay, like other people, they are just more talented, so they hear the music, they may do different musical patterns because it's like a talent, so it's not a skill which I can develop. And or sometimes they don't know how to start musicality because it's more for like intermediate or advanced level in social dancing, so they don't know how to start and they think, oh, it's like a talent, and that's it. So the story ends here for, I think, quite many dancers. And I want to talk about this because I think it's a skill, and I'm gonna tell why I think so. So from my experience of dancing social dances like salsa, West Coast swing, Lindy Hop, blues, kizomba, little bit tango, like different social dances. Uh, I noticed that people who have a musical background, like they went to musical school as a kid, they played some instrument like piano or something else, or if they were exposed to complicated music, they don't have problems with hearing the music. So that part of musicality is okay for them. Or if they were dancing different social dances, like not one style, or maybe two or three styles, or they had experience with ballroom dancing where there is just 10 different dances or more, I don't know, like foxtrot and valse and cha-cha and all other stuff which has different music, rumba. So their ears kind of developed, and they can hear the music in all its beauty, you know. They can hear the rhythm, they can hear different instruments, they can hear bars and where is the one, where is the two, like accents and breaks, and they feel okay. So I noticed in one of the groups when I was learning, I think Lindy Hop, we had different students, as I say. Some had musical background, some had social dancing background, and some didn't have any background. So for them, it was their first dance, like the just from the scratch. And when we started to learn steps, it was okay for everyone. We were just learning steps, so everyone was equal. So there was no difference between the students. And later, when we came to musical patterns, we needed to make simple steps into musically. Those who had musical background, they did very free. Like it was, they could do it actually practically from the first class, even without any exercises or teacher telling them they could do. People who had a social dancing background, like who danced other dances, like a Latin program like me, or folk, or some traditional dances, they also could do it. But those who didn't have that background, they could not do it. Like for them, this exercise was hard, and they didn't understand the variation in music. They could not hear the instruments, so they practically could not do this this exercise, or it was hard and they were not super happy actually. So for musicality, I think the like the biggest skill for musicality skill, if we divide musicality skill into like smaller skills, not look at it as a talent, but look at it as a skill which people can develop. So uh, as I see that hearing skill is like, I don't know, 80%, 60% of the task. If the person can hear the music properly, like with musical background or with other social dances background, they have already done the task for like half. So they need to learn the steps and combine, you know. So it's pretty like, it's more simple task as I see than hearing. It's not the only task there. I made a kind of list of tasks to reach musicality in a way. Uh, but hearing, yeah, hearing is, I think, at least half. I would give, I don't know, 60%, 80%. How much would you give? It's, yeah, it's your choice. I would give a lot because people who could not hear the instruments in the music, they could not hear the parts of the, like, yeah, they had troubles. And how to develop it, like you start social dancing and you can't go to five-year musical school, you know, you will not go to learn all this stuff. Also, if you dance one style, maybe dancing other styles would actually improve it. For example, if you dance like swing, like Lindy Hop or West Coast swing, and then you go to Latin program or to tango or to any other style, it would actually improve your hearing skill in your own styles, because exposed to different music, especially complicated music, will help you to hear it better and to feel the music better. And yeah, so it may help faster if you expand 1 year learning 10 different dances, like 1 month for each dance. After 1 year, your musicality in your own style will be much better just from that. I'm pretty sure. But this is like extreme. People people don't do it. But naturally, people sometimes dance different styles at the same time, or like in ballroom dancing, people dance a lot of styles at the same time, like foxtrot and rumba, as I said, like a lot of different music. Not like in social dancing when people like 10 years or I don't know 20 years they dance just one style, one music, and that's it. So the ears only need to work with one type of music, not different type of music. So as I said, I decided to make this video to talk about skills and to talk like divide the musicality skill into different little steps, maybe not little, maybe big steps to for someone who want to improve it. And by doing these steps they will see the result. So the first the thing I want to talk will be this. The first is the time. So the time you spend to improve your musicality is just mathematical pattern. Like during like last year, how much time did you spend? Like 5 minutes or like half an hour for some kind of exercises, or like how much was this for last 1 year or half a year? So you can make calculation and see how much did I spend time for musicality. The second is space or environment. Is environment, do you have environment for and space for musicality? So for example, if you dance only with beginners, you are intermediate for example, and you dance with beginners who can't do it, like you can't express your musicality, so you don't have space. Or for example, you go to a group with classes, but you don't practice there because they don't have classes for musicality, and at class you learn some different patterns, and yeah, you don't practice it at home, so you don't have like space and environment. Or for example, you do dancing in show group where you kind of have musicality, but it's not improvisation, it's not social, it's more like you hear the song many times and then you prepare steps. So it's yeah, it's musicality, but maybe not like social dancing variant. Okay, then I want to talk about a gallery of moves in short-term memory. Yeah, it's very interesting because to do improvisation at dance floor, like when you're dancing into music with someone, to be able to do it, you need to have some amount of moves, and not just not just moves which you learned many years ago, but I wrote in short-term memory to take them fast for a certain pattern. For example, if you practice a few times per week, so you remember all these moves, and then you can do them fast. But if you don't practice, if you don't go very often to dancing, even you hear in the music, oh, this is like such a cool moment, I hear it, like I want to do something, but then your memory kind of start looking into shelves of your brain somewhere, like looking, and takes a long time, and then like time is moving fast. You need to do something. Like you can't just wait, 5 minutes or even 5 seconds. And it was like far away in your brain, and your brain didn't find it. And then yeah, time just moved, and you say, oh, like I missed the moment. So like these moves, they should be in a short-term memory. So if you want to express musicality, it's good to have your like gallery of moves, a list of moves, these files, I don't know, video files in your brain fresh. And so you have like 20 moves or 10 moves which you want to do into music, and so you practice them at least, I don't know, once a month, once per week, so they're fresh, they're kind of close somewhere in your memory, short-term memory. uh, okay, the other thing I want to talk is autopilot or intuitive dancing and improvisation. So it's practically in one block. Uh, so I'm telling about myself. Like some people actually do like conscious dancing, musicality. They kind of predict. So like DJ, they know the song and they say, oh, okay, I know this song. So there will be this pattern. I will do this pattern, I will do this. Or sometimes also we need short-term memory. For example, the song has structure like A, B, A, B, A, B. So first part was some melody, the other part was a little bit different melody, then the same melody, and then different. So it's like a normal song has like two types of patterns. And you hear the first pattern, you remember it, you hear the second, and when the third comes, you know it will be the first, and you kind of know what to do. So it's like like conscious, yes. So you just need memory. You need to practice memory, or you need to hear the song like DJ 20, 100 times, and you will be able to do this. For me, I do more intuitive dancing, where I don't predict. I don't know the second pattern. I hear the music and do at the same time with the music, or a little bit predict intuitively, but I may not know the song completely. And how I do it? Well, I kind of give this task to to my brain separately to decide what I'm gonna do. So I'm kind of step aside from the process, and there is like music, which I hear separately, different instruments. There is my gallery of moves in my brain. It's like interface. Imagine it's like on a computer. It's like different files, and then I can do it consciously, but it will be kind of slow. Like I hear the music, and then okay, this is move goes to this pattern, or maybe this. I start to judge, so it's like more conscious. But when I dance, I don't do the. I don't think. I turn into like autopilot regime this task, and it just go automatically. So this my brain is doing this job for me. I'm not doing this. So all these files, I accept that they're good moves. I don't judge them. I don't start this process of thinking, oh, will I look good with this move? Or is it too much? Or is it like good for my partner? That's why I was talking about environment. That to express musicality, you need to dance with a partner who will not freak out. Because if you dance with beginner who will freak out from your legs, like some, I don't know, anything, some kicks or something, or maybe you will think, you will, oh, should I do this? Or if you wear some dress which is like not comfortable and think, oh, I will look bad if I do this. So you need to wear the dress which is like proper with any move, and you need to dance with a person, like environment which allows you to do whatever. And then your gallery, you just allow it. All the moves should like make, I make like bulk edition of all the files. I choose all files, and then I say allowed, like all files allowed to action. I don't make a decision for each file, they just go. So next move comes to my mind, and I'll allow it to allow my body to do it. I don't stop it. So it's my only job, practically, how I do it. Not always I dance like this, but very often, if I dance with a nice partner, I just do everything what is my brain. Like my brain suggests me, and I just do. And then the speed, then I can catch the speed of the music in this like autopilot regime. I can call it like this, because in conscious regime, if I think, start thinking, oh, is this good? Is this not good? It's kind of very slow, and you will not able to do improvisation. If it is showcase, when you remember, you need to remember the moves. You plan what you do. This is different. But if we speak about musicality, which social dancers do on dance floor with new music, or maybe they know it a little bit, but they don't know the next pattern. So it's how I do. And mm, the other thing is, which I put in my list. Mm, yes, the exercise. I prepared the exercise, and I will make a separate video for it. Uh, I started to talk about this autopilot regime. So exercise is to dance. Yeah, to find the music kind of close to your style. For example, if you dance salsa, you can find the music which is close to it, maybe a popular song. It doesn't have to be salsa exactly, or can be salsa different style, or can be zomba or some popular song. And try to yeah dance every move which comes to your brain. Like your brain suggests you some move, a bad move, like sometimes brain doesn't suggest anything nice. You just do it, and because you do it at home, you can do bad move. You don't have to good make only good moves, like perfect. Then you hear the music, your brain will suggest you like next move. You don't argue with your brain, you just do. At the same second, the brain suggests you like go left, you go left, go right, you go right. That makes move with the arm, like anything. And it's better to choose not exactly your style, but something close. Or if you dance, for example, West Coast swing, which has modern music, you can choose like very big list of variations for it. If you dance tango, you can choose, I think, like flamenco, you can choose fado, you can choose classic music. So you choose more simple, maybe more simple music, but which may have the same pattern, mood, or beat, maybe close to your style, and you allow your body to move. Yeah, like I said in previous part, that you just your task is allow all the moves which your brain is generating from your gallery. Yes, and there will be a part where your brain is not generating any moves, and normally what what dancers do, they start to do some formal moves, like, oh, I can't stand, like it's music playing, I need to do something, like pressure of music. But if you do like exercise, you should stay. Like you follow only what your brain kind of dictates you. If brain didn't generate any move, you stay. You just stay, hold. You don't need to move. Like music is not a dictator. So music is happening, you stay. Then you hear again, brain start to like give you like, oh, this move, this move. So as I said, it's good to have like fresh list of some moves, like, and maybe even make this list like 10 or 20 names for it, and say, okay, this is my fresh list of moves, and now I switch on this music and I just dance. Okay, so now I want to come back again to this list I prepared for time. So the first was time, which is band, the second space environment, then hearing skill, then gallery of moves in short-term memory, then intuitive dancing, autopilot regime, and improvisation. This is one thing, and the last was exercise. So about time. So if you made this analysis of your history for 1 year, you may find out that you didn't spend any time for musicality. Okay, maybe you did, but I think quite many people, they didn't spend any time for musicality, uh, because they believe that musicality you can practice only at a class, which is kind of true. But in my case, when I see how I was doing it, I was not practicing in a class because I didn't have so many separate classes for musicality. But I was practicing it in a kind of different way, which I want to share. So, for example, I think when I was learning salsa, West Coast swing, like the first years of my dancing, like I had 2 years of salsa, and then after that 2 years of West Coast swing. I was also going to like parties and nightclubs with my friends at the time. And in a nightclub, they have some music like techno or something. And sometimes they have Latin program. And I could dance my Latin moves, you know, in at a club. So uh, when I counted how much time I spent for musicality to practice my moves, I calculated about 10 hours per year, and out of these 10 hours, maybe 4 hours were from nightclub, because very often people who do social dancing, they don't go to normal parties. They say, oh, this is like for just some crazy drunk people. They go only to specialized parties, like dancing parties, were only for dancers. They didn't go to normal parties. But I went to normal parties, so yeah, I could do some things from salsa there, like moving with arms, legs, like not in every song, but there was some Latin program I could practice there not actually practice. I didn't realize I was practicing. I was just doing it. So the other place was actually my classes, because at classes it was I had group classes, and we had a disproportion of men and women, and girls were sometimes staying, like waiting for change. And I felt bored, because I feel bored maybe 10-15 minutes if I'm not doing something interesting. I just started to feel bored, like 10 seconds that I'm not dancing. The class, so I was just uh, doing my moves near the mirror, or trying to do something into music. So I also spent this time for musicality myself, because I liked it. So if I, for 2 years, if I spend at least, I don't know, 5 minutes of each class, this will be also let's say 1 hour, 2 hours. How much is this? You can calculate. How much is this? Uh, but other people, they didn't do it. They were just standing and doing thinking or resting. I don't know. Also, at home, now I can do this thing. Also, I can just switch on some music, which is style which I'm dancing at dance floor, like salsa, like this more professional. Or it can be just some popular song and go crazy and just dance whatever comes to my mind. Maybe, I don't know, once per week, twice per week, also 5 to 15 minutes. It's like I just relax like this. So if I calculate only 15 minutes per week, so it's like 1 hour per month. So it's already 12 hours per year. So if you dance 15 minutes per week, just practice your musicality at home. Just switch on the music and try to do moves which you already know into music. It's already 12 hours, and you don't need to pay for them. Anything, you have your music at home and yourself at home. I was not doing maybe that a lot, but yeah, maybe like 4 hours per year for sure I had this practice. Mm, okay, so what else for time? Oh, at dance floor. Also, I like to dance with dancers of my level, because, as I said, with beginners, like, they will freak out if you start experimenting or do some patterns. With teachers, also with advanced, like, if I'm not sure I'm doing that move properly, or like dancing with teacher may feel that they're judgmental or something. I don't know. Like, it's not always environment. When I was talking about environment, the beginners and teachers, not always the environment for experiments or going crazy. I'm not saying about all teachers, but students may actually feel better with another teacher from another school, or with the dancers from their own group. Like, yeah, I felt more free with students from my group. With them, I could go crazy, and on a dance floor, I could try to make some patterns into music. So I was not waiting where my teachers would start to give a class. And there was actually a class for musicality, which I remember. And it was not like separate class. It was maybe like 50 minutes of normal class after 1 year of dancing in this group. And I remember I was so happy, like, oh, at last we have like musicality class. So the teachers put the music and we could do some improvisation, and I was like, yeah, like super happy. But I noticed other people were not super happy. They just freak out. Actually, they freak out, and then they said, oh, okay, so what should we do? And because teachers switch on the music, they say, oh, try to do it in the music, like moves which you know. But some people just freak out. And then I thought, okay, like I enjoyed this class, and then we didn't have this class anymore, like this, because it didn't work well for everyone. And I thought, okay, like when I analyzed this, I thought, okay, but for the previous year, I spent like 10 hours. Like if I add all these places, like all time, if I calculate all time which I spent for musicality in different places to express my musicality, like I hear the music, I do the moves, or in whatever places, like at home, at dance floor, at nightclub, at class when I was not dancing with leaders. Other people were not doing it. Like other people did not go to nightclubs, they didn't do it at home, they didn't do it at class, they didn't try and dance floor, they feeling shy or something. And then when we had this class, like we are in one group. So I have like 10 hours of expressing my musicality plus these 10 minutes. And this person, like the guy, he has zero time in his like history and these 10 minutes. And that's why it didn't work. And when he looks at other people, he might think, oh, like it's a talent probably, like they feel so free, they can do some moves and I can't. But it's not like this. It's because one person spent 10 hours last year and this person didn't spend. They spent 0 hours, of 5 minutes. This is their first experience. And actually, it is not a very comfortable environment also when people are exposed to musicality class when they didn't know about it. So it's better maybe to make a separate class, like announce to students that, oh, next time we will have 1 hour of musicality class, we will switch music and we will try to do some moves. And maybe some people don't like it and they will not come, and it's okay because they don't want to do this or they're not ready. And people who come, they kind of mentally ready to do it, and maybe at home they will refresh some moves. I don't know, they will be like more prepared, and maybe refresh some moves before such class would be a great idea, so people have their gallery in short-term memory, as I said. So they kind of ready, the environment is more friendly because they're ready. And it will be better for them to express musicality and to move from where they are to like more comfortable place with the music. So as I say, people have different